was highly beneficial for me because if it wasn't, I wouldn't have ended up there. You know what I mean? So it was it was it was good. You know, I had a lot of good memories with my teammates. We lost some games, we won some games, but throughout it, you know, I got to build that camaraderie with my team. You know, I got to build a relationship with my coaches, and I think that's something that's going to last for a lifetime. So I'm very grateful for the time I got to spend there.
I'll tell you this. See, and maturity is a very, very elusive thing. Some people act mature, this and that, but I could just see your growth every time I talk to you. You're just becoming more of a man every day, and you're becoming even more accountable. You was that anyway, but I also see that you already learned that you got to turn the situation and not cry about it, but make adjustments, right? And
But
that's what's going to always be, right? Like one, they say that the plan never survives the war, so you're gonna always have to learn how to make adjustments on the fly and make adjustments when things change. So when you talk about the business of basketball, I kind of like that you're talking about that because some young guys don't get that it is a business. And I think when they hear the word business, they don't understand that you got to have a gravitas about making basketball decisions. Like right now, he's in the gym, just finished working out. He understand that he has to take this serious because they're not going to invest in a player. Like I told him last week, about 2 weeks ago, I was with LSU and they said they want to make sure they get a return on their investment. And that's business language. So if you want to expound a little bit about how did you get into the mindset of understanding that this is a business?
right. I mean, you know, even going as far back as like Phenom Camp, a lot of the people that I was getting introduced to, and a lot of the people, such as yourself, that I was meeting within like Phenom, and you know, just being in that area where you know these people are in support of the game of basketball. You know, alone people started to you know break down to me that this is a business at the end of the days, and that kind of like started to get my brain turning in terms of you know understanding what it is I was getting myself into, and then like when I got to my first program, quickly I realized that okay, with anything where there's money involved, people are trying to make a profit, you know, and like even the term you use, return of investment, I know that everything is an investment from the jerseys to the basketballs, you know, from the basketball court to the benches, you know, everything is an investment and people want a return of that investment. And as an athlete, you have to know that people are investing in you. And I think it took me a minute to get there to understand that I was an investment or I was
You
a
like to,
product. Like I was a product that needed to be. I needed to be able to put myself in position to be able to be sold at the highest level, to be able to sell myself at the highest level. Because at the end of the day, I'm a product within this business. So you know, once I started to break it down like that, I started to, you know, really appreciate the different aspects that came with it because I know that, okay, if I'm a product within this, okay, what else a part of this goes into this investment that's going to, you know, allow me to keep going? Because if I have a better understanding of what's going on all around me, I'll be able to, you know, I'll be able to elaborate better to coaches and to different you know people as to what it is I'm trying to do, where I'm trying to go, and how I can benefit that system. You know when I get there. So it was
yeah,
kind of
because
just
see
like
what happened.
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just saying it was just that gradual build up. You know just starting off by saying I'm going to do this, and then just being open minded to wanting to learn about it as I went through it. You know.
See, and what happens in that learning piece, right? There's a lot of guys that want to play the game, but they don't want to learn the game. And what I mean by that is at some point, everybody could dunk, everybody could dribble, everybody could cross, everybody can shoot. What guy can do that at the highest level and do it to the point where their decision making is at the level of championship, right? There's a plenty of NBA players that have the NBA game, but do they play like a champion? That's the difference. Are you making the decisions that once we invest all of this money and all of this time, Are you really trying to win, or you just trying to do you? And then some guys get caught trying to do them. And then what happens? You might not pass the ball when you should have. You might not have rebound when you should have, right? Are you really going to lay it on the line? Are you going to really be accountable? That's what the accountability pieces will eventually catch up with you. You can't fake accountability. Why? Because there's certain actions you're going to have to take when it comes to accountability. What else is going to happen? People will have information on you. So you got to be able to live up to some of your decision making. So that's why I say the business of basketball is very serious, especially because why? Like you say, those uniforms cost money. Everything has a price. Coaches, all that. So it's good that you're at least developing the mindset to understand that you don't want to waste anybody's effort, you don't want to waste anybody's time, and you don't want to waste your time, and you don't want to come in there with the wrong attitude. That's why I say when coaches don't know who you are, they're gonna check your attitude and effort, and they're gonna wonder if that are you the right person that they want to what be, be like you said. We use the term invest in, right? So that's why I think that's a great thing that you're starting to understand that at least at that point that there's people investing money from alumni to all of these people is trying to get wins because they believe in a lot of y'all young men. You know what I mean? So let me ask you another question. So now I remember you crying that day when I told you I had the scholarship for you.
Yep.
Do you know what was so impressive about that was?
Talk to me.
I saw something that, like you said before you decided to come to the Phenom, you said you're gonna get yourself a scholarship. See, that was the true Gold Me magic right there. And it was like it became reality. And I think that's the difference in life, right? Like when you realize you can do it yourself, that's what makes a champion. That's why it's hard to be champions because they won it before. They know they achieved it. Because it's not the trophy, it's the fact that you believed in yourself and you got it done. The trophy gonna be on somewhere on the mantle somewhere, right? But the fact that you could believe in your ability, it's like nothing else in the world. When you know you can actually get it done. So where did you get that belief from? I need to know.
I mean, God. I think I got the belief from God. I think going through hard times, and going through hardships, they forced me to isolate myself in certain moments and really have to sit down and ask myself like, or ask myself if I really wanted to hear what God had to tell me. Do I really want to hear what He has to tell me, or am I just going to Him because I feel some type of way about something, like, am I truly open to the lesson that I need to learn in this moment? Um, I prayed. When I prayed, I asked God to silence my mind, right, and allow me to hear Him clearly. Allow me to hear what it is I need to clearly, and you know, in those moments, I realized that the world that I see is a reflection of me. Everything that I'm
Nice.
seeing on the outside is a reflection of how I'm feeling on the inside, and the subconscious thoughts that I'm putting together on the inside. That's what I'm seeing around me. So if I'm when I was walking around and I'm telling myself that like I'm going through these hardships and ain't nobody there for me and I don't know how I'm gonna figure this out and I don't know how I'm gonna do this and do that, that's what I began to see. I began to see a whole bunch of I don't know people, I don't know results, I don't know environments. I began to see that all around me, and I wasn't I wasn't seeing any benefit from being in those situations. I
There you
wasn't
go.
seeing any benefit from not knowing. I wasn't seeing any benefit from not being able to sit down and understand what it is that's going on. So I really did need to isolate myself and ask God, okay, what is it that He needed from me? What is it that I need to do? Not what is it that He can do for me. I had to stop. I had to stop expecting God to do something for me. I think people do it in different ways. I think like I used to I used to only go to God when something was going wrong, or I used to only go to God when I wanted something, when I wanted to, I wanted to have something to fall back on and be like, well, God got me. I feel like that started to become like a habit that I had, and I don't think it was doing me any well, you know. But when I was able to sit down and humble myself and tell myself, like, you know what, maybe it's not what God can do for me. It's about what can I do for God? You know, what can I do for God, and what can I do for my people? How can I be of any type of like
Service.
benefit or a service to my people around me? Like, how can I do these things better? When I open my mind